Well, Professor William Beeman is back on the line with us to discuss this fresh round of talks between Iran and the P5+1 in Vienna. Let's speak to Professor Beeman. Professor Beeman, there is a lot of skepticism amongst Iranian officials and also the leader of the Islamic Revolution of Iran, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei. Why do you think an atmosphere conducive towards reaching a comprehensive agreement was not created in the run-up to these talks?
I'm not sure. Of course, we don't know what happened behind closed doors in these talks. But I think one of the difficulties that we've had here in the United States is that people still don't understand that the talks are taking place in the framework of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. And so there are U.S. officials such as Undersecretary of State Wendy Sherman, who continue to make demands of Iran that are not covered by the treaty. Iran has the right to enrich uranium, and what the United States seems to be talking about on the fringes of the talk is a total dismantling of the Iranian nuclear program, as well as talks about things that are extraneous to any nuclear operations, such as Iran's missile program or the military bases that have no involvement with the nuclear program at all. This creates a real atmosphere of distrust in Iran, and it also makes other nations like Russia and China wonder whether the United States knows what it's doing.
Right, now there's also this issue of lobbyist groups, that of anti-Iran and Zionist lobbies, who are wielding a lot of influence over lawmakers in the U.S. specifically. Do you think national interest, though, will finally win over this pressure?
It's hard to tell, but I should remind your listeners, if they haven't heard already, that as the result of public lobbying of our Congress, a measure to try to impose increased sanctions on Iran if the talks failed has failed in Congress. It has been turned back. And this is the result of really hundreds of thousands of U.S. citizens lobbying congressional members against the pro-Israeli lobby AIPAC, American Israel Public Affairs Committee. And this is, I think, a very good sign. It shows that the American public is actually more sensible than our legislators, and certainly is not interested in having our legislators be subject to lobbying from these external groups.
Okay, we're going to have to wait and see how this pans out. That was Professor William Beeman with the University of Minnesota joining us from San Jose. Professor, as always, thank you very much for your comments here on Press TV.